We outside with it. Peace to
Yo,
the
yo,
fam.
yo, we back at
Yeah,
it again. Rise Academy, you dig? This your
you
boy
already
Cobe
know.
Rise. And we got my man Showtime Training Group.
Showseason. Yeah.
You
You already
dig? We
know.
got Mr. Iceman himself. You dig what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Black Ice
You
Therapy.
you know it. You know it. You
Yeah,
know it.
yeah. Hey, man, we've been
Yeah.
up, man. We are starting up this podcast. We're getting it rolling. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get the streams and everything rocking.
Yeah. Share it out to the people.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Shoot. Well, we in it, man. I think this topic is real. I don't think people ready for this, dog. They see the topic, man. It's about this fasting. And listen, if y'all missed out last week, you might want to go back
Woo!
and watch that video for real. It'll
Got
make
to.
a lot of sense if you watch that and then come back and tune in. You did. We'll
Got to.
still kind of go over everything just in case, but I'm telling you, I recommend highly to go back and watch that last episode, man. It was so many gems dropped. I learned so much, and I think this is gonna be another one where we're gonna learn a lot. You dig?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ain't
we
even
rock.
gonna lie, man. That was a good one. That was one of my that was probably one of my faves, man. We get down together, man. But I like the interaction amongst us three, the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and the things that we brought to the table, man. I think was great. So like you
Absolutely.
said, man, if you haven't got to check it out, please go check it out, man. Tune in to the Rise and Rise Radio.
Come
We
on,
got it on YouTube. We posting it on the platforms.
let's
We
go.
just spoke about it, making sure it's easily accessible. This is good information. I've been doing
Absolutely.
some reflecting, man, and just kind of looking at our growth, me and you together, man, and what we've been doing, and just like just being honest and transparent, man. I kind of was looking at some of the episodes and seeing, are we just out here talking, or are these things that we're, these points, these topics can really help you? And I wanted to add in while we start, man. This stuff is really good stuff, man. All the topics I've been, just really. I know you said we gotta live and apply the brand ourselves, definitely us two. But man, I'm looking at some of the topics and some of the interactions I'm getting. My mom comes up to me and tells me, about different changes she's making.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh shoot, man, that's word. So that's why
Yo,
I told you today, behind the scenes, we were kind of just speaking on just, man, I just want to keep sharing the word, man.
absolutely.
It may not look like we're reaching a lot, man, but we're reaching a lot. And this information that we're giving is real good stuff. I
Yeah.
always have that saying, nothing personal, but it's personal. So these topics, if you go back and look at everything we spoke about, I promise you, it'll give you a good foundation to start going towards some of your fitness goals. Everything that we mentioned, we're not those guys that are gonna, I've seen athletes and different celebrities just kind of post things because it was helping their brand, but we're
Mm-hmm.
not. We don't. Right now, we're still building. So when we sit here and give our time and give our knowledge, we're really just, this is sincere. This is from the heart. This is,
No talk.
just really topics that we said, okay, we're going to come on every week and just share information, not only with our risers, with our community that we're building, but
Yeah.
we're also sharing this information with everybody else. And I highly recommend you check out those videos.
You already know, man. Shoot, Showtime came in with the flex, dog. You dig what I'm saying? He dropping the gems already.
We got to go. I'm ready
No,
for
for
this one.
real. You speaking facts, bro. You know how we do, man. Like we only got to the point, bro. We click the button, like we going live. Click, click. You know what I'm saying? And we we kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, just to let y'all know, this is we know the topic. We don't know how it's gonna go. We going off of each other, real talk, and this is kind of how the flow is. We keeping it authentic. You dig what I'm saying? So you already know how we rocking. This is coming from really the spirit. We just trying to help out. You know what I'm saying? We're sharing the information. You can check our YouTubes. You can check our Instagrams, Facebooks. You know, this is literally just a lifestyle because I want to make sure that everybody's looking at it so they can see how we're living day to day. So they know, okay, these guys are not just saying it just to, get some clickbait. They're actually living the life. I just so happen to have a camera and I just so happen to kind of show you what I'm doing. You dig? Like I did the elderberry tea the other day. You know what I'm saying? That was something that hey, I put together. It's just because I'm doing it every day. So I want to have someone kind of tap in so they can see, okay, how is he living? How's he doing? He living a healthy life. And like you said, I don't even know who watches until I find out from someone who I never would even thought. It's like, you watch the show, but they watch the show. Like I remember at work, dog, I got everybody eating they trying plant-based stuff now, man. This is getting crazy. Like my coworker, so he normally eats meat, but he works out in the gym every day, pumping weight, boom. You know what I'm saying? He hitting it, bodybuilding, all that type of workout, right? Why he come into the job a couple days ago with chickpeas and wild rice? I wonder where he got that from.
Oh yeah.
Real talk, man.
It's real.
Every day, man. So they was like, you know what? Let me try it out. You know, so hey, it's a testament. It's doing something. You know, and I'm trying to make it to where it's a learning experience and then have fun too. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how it is. We try to make everything fun. You know, I'm trying to get kids involved. You dig? Because you know we got to stay active. So the only way we can keep our kids active is if they see us doing it and we make it fun. I remember you did when we talked about an episode where you said, you know, you like to have fun with the kids. You dig what I'm saying? Like try to make it into a fun activity, but it's also at the same time doing an exercise where they're actually contributing, doing something with their body, and at the same time they can learn something on how to eat good. So, yo, I'm all for it, dog.
Yeah, let's roll right in, man. I'm ready to go. I'm TTG ready to go. If we get a guest, man, you know he'll climb right in. But definitely, I know what you're here for. You seen that fasting? Like I said, my mom chimed in. That's gonna bring us right into. We're gonna segue right into it. You know, just speaking on that transparency, and I just want to speak about my fast. So I did a 3-day fast.
Okay.
So again, we had a great episode. I can't stress enough, you know, we had a great episode last week. And also I wanted to mention too, if anything resonates or any questions you have, make sure to drop it in the comments. We're interacting.
Please do.
In it. You know, and Kobe's checking out all of it. He's bringing it up, you know, as we go. If there's something I missed, he's catching it. So any questions you have, this is the safest space I know. You know, you're getting two perspectives, two brothers that's living it. We're living it similarly. Just living a healthy lifestyle. We want to share this information. You're not going to get this everywhere. I promise you. Somebody going to want to hide something, but I give you everything. Anything you ask me, it's on the table. You know, I want to live by example. God spared me. God blessed me. And I want to live by example. So that 3-day fast I did, and mine was primarily, I had an issue with waking up every morning to the energy drinks, the artificial sweeteners. So my buddy German came in and he kind of broke down just how some of the artificial sweeteners are just made to kind of mimic some of the natural sweeteners that God already gave us in your fruits and different things, you know, that are natural sources of sugar. You know, we crave and we build that craving with those artificial sweeteners. And that's what I felt like I was doing. You know, he mentioned some things that kind of, you know, it kind of felt like to me like these rains or these bangs are kind of running my life. Because literally, you know, it got to a point where I won't move until I got to have a bang. My clients know, you know, I heard just little comments, you know, that didn't set right with me. There's nothing wrong. Well, I'll say it's not anything necessarily wrong with those. If you're not familiar with what I'm speaking about, the bangs or the rains, they're like energy drinks. And what's happening now is they're starting to substitute some of the sugars with these artificial sweeteners, which may or may not be better for you. You know, some of them are still, they're just switching it, you know, switching it into a different thing that may cause you other issues. So long story short, for me, the primary basis of my fast was that I wanted to just try some fruits and just different things. So what I did was just for 3 days, I didn't wake up with, I really didn't even use any caffeine. I didn't want to cheat and go to coffee. So I just tried to kind of wake up and just receive natural sources of energy, fruits. I'm a big water drinker. I know that sounds crazy, but for me, just water kind of keeps me, knowing that the body is made up of primarily water, majority water. I'm just a big water drinker. And I don't know if that's something I put in my mind too. Like it's just as long as I have enough water, you know, if the body is made up of over 70 to 80% water, then I want to have enough water. I want to, you know, put an emphasis on that water. So, man, long story short, I feel really good about the fast. and that's another thing I wanted to mention on this topic was I want you to investigate and research when you fast. Okay, so there's all sorts of fasting. There's all sorts of types of fasting. Like my dad, he was big on the intermittent fasting, where I think that's just like a window. If you know anything about that, you can speak a little bit more on it too. And I believe that's just kind of a window where you eat between this is I believe it's a 10-hour window
Mm-hmm.
or and you can research it. I'm just giving you. I don't want people to get one track minded. A lot of times when people think fasting, we thinking, okay, we got to starve ourselves. No,
Right.
no, not at all. If your level of discipline and your faith is calling you to try those things, those really extreme fasts, and that's another thing. But for us, when we're speaking about primarily just hitting those health goals, and like I said, for me, yeah, it was really, man, that discipline. I wanted to see, can I be disciplined enough? Do I need these drinks? Are these drinks uh, overpowering my life? And you can ask yourself that same question, whatever your weakness is. It could be that the Snicker bars. I heard
Mm-hmm.
people say the bread, the carbs. Maybe you should try that fast and maybe a small fast. I got a lot for my 3 days. I got a lot for my 3 days. I understood that everything that German was kind of mentioning too, and how I was programming. I was kind of putting my mind on, okay, well, you
Real
need this
talk.
today. So I want to just encourage anybody else, man, try that same type of thing that I did. So what I did was there was a few things I did. I didn't wake up with any sort of artificial sweeteners, caffeines. My sugars were extremely low, and I went all plant based. I felt great. I was energized. I had a great 3 days. And I definitely want to extend. The only reason I haven't extended my fast is because I want to just get a little bit better prepared to incorporate more juices into my
Mm-hmm.
fast. All right, so I know I could get long-winded, but
Are you
a
good?
place I want to leave everybody with is that that's a big misconception I see. When people think fast, they think, oh no, I can't do it. I can't. I'm gonna starve. I'm gonna this. I'm gonna that. That's the first
Right.
thing somebody asks me. What about your calories? One of my clients asked me, what about your calories? Well, for me, it was discipline. It was discipline. So
Real talk.
discipline superseded all anything else. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Yeah, no, that was deep, man. Because I knew I wanted to hear your story, man. Because I know we talked about it last week, dog. And I know you was gonna go hard. I said, man, show about to take this thing all the way in there. You dig? So
Yeah, you
I was
already
really
know.
wanting to hear that for sure, man. And I took a few notes, man. Like you said, just encouraging yourself, man, to stay disciplined. You dig? And it's something that's out of the norm. And I want to extend that to people who are just kind of new into fitness, or not even just new, but just wanting to know about what to do, and what to eat and what not to eat, and how to just stay consistent, man. And it is difficult, and a lot of it has to do with our discipline. We have to be disciplined enough to stay on task, and if we actually have a plan to do exactly what we say we're going to do, that's discipline. I know we want to go back to how we normally do, but we're so disciplined that we got to say, you know what? That's what I used to do. I'm doing this right now because I understand the bigger benefit of it. You dig what I'm saying? And you, more than often than none, you're going to see results. More often, you're going to see results. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a while. You know what I'm saying? So you have to. That's why you have to stick with things. You have to stick with the change. And then, of course, it's going to take that little bit of time. But that little bit of time, you're going to realize you're going to see big results. And especially like when I went plant based, man. When I went alkaline, dog, probably one of the best things that happened to me. Took a little bit of time, but the benefit was there. It was a big benefit, man. That's what's up, man. I love that. So even I guess that's a great segue, to be honest with you. So the topic of the day is fasting. So I guess I'll kind of start it with with the real question. What is fasting? You know what I'm saying? And I'll kind of give some context. So this could be on anything, when it comes to fasting, food fast, mental fast, spiritual fast, anything. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can sum it up, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of give your take, and I'll give my take on it. So, what's your take when it comes to fasting? What does Showtime do when it comes to fasting?
well, I gave you one of my 3 days,
Yep.
and I'll put it like this. I'll give you a outline on how I would go about starting a fast. So I found a weakness or an area that I could improve on. I committed to a goal. I understood what I wanted to accomplish from the fast. You said something that I like. There's all sorts of fasting. People fast for faith. People fast for health. People fast for, just a calling. Whatever your reason is, just identify it. So, like I said, to go back in, just to highlight that story again, I identified my fast. I knew how long I wanted to do it. It was a commitment. It was something I knew it would challenge me. I knew it would help me. Start off with your timeline. Start small, especially if these are personal goals that you're setting. I did a 3 day. I said, okay, well, 3 days. I wanted to do it and end it today, so I would be able to share everything that happened. So it was structured. It was 3 days. I understood what I was going to subtract. I understood what I was going to try to add: more fruits, more vegetables, more natural foods, less sugars. Okay. And that's just kind of how I would outline the fast. If again, like I said, some of the things are, I've seen people, if sweetness is your sweets are your weakness, maybe try that. I'll go on a 3 day fast, no sugars, no candy. If you feel like you're having a caffeine overload, you may be like me, just wanting to just kind of balance things out a little bit. Make sure that that's not leading your life. If you're comfortable with it, that's okay. Just for me, I was just something, I had to make sure that mentally that I was okay, and it wasn't like a drug. I gotta have this drink.
Oh,
So
right. Exactly. No, that's deep, dog. And one thing that you kept saying, what I see is putting yourself in that uncomfortable state, but it's for a little bit of time. You dig, and you set that goal. And I think a lot of people sometimes they get afraid because they just don't know. They're walking into the unknown. You dig, and so I think that kind of scares people a lot of times. But how do you expect to grow if you don't walk through that door? Nobody else can walk through that door but you. And so that's kind of why I look at it from a standpoint of this is how you can't remain the same if you won't change. You got to do something different. You dig? And that's going to make yourself or put yourself in an uncomfortable position in order for you to get past that goal. Just think about it. It's just like a door. If I tell you walk through that door, you keep walking through it, that's literally how you get to your goal. When you open that door, you don't realize how dark it is. You don't know where you step in. You know what I'm saying? But you do see a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes it can get small. Sometimes it can get big, depending on how fast you move, how you're going. Do you want to quit? Do you want to go back? Because it's easy to walk back out that door and say, no, I'm good. You dig? But when you walk through that, oh, man, you be a whole different person. They don't even tell you at the end of the door when you get to the exit how different you are. You know what I'm saying? How much in a better position you are. You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's one thing that people don't really see a lot of times when they're going through it, just because they don't see it as quick as they do. It's like, nah, never that. And a lot of us, we just have to give up some of the things that's holding us back. Hence fasting. And even for me, when you look at fasting, gosh, I got to take it back to the food, man. I think when we talk about sugar, fasting from sugar, right? The benefits of fasting from sugar. And so I like to give substitutions when it comes to fasting. You know what I'm saying? I always like to give substitutions because it's like most people say, well, okay, if I'm going to eat plant-based, what am I supposed to do for protein? What am I supposed to do for meat? I normally eat chicken. All right. We have to give you substitutes then. So you can substitute it. You don't necessarily need it, but you can have a healthy substitute. Like, for example, okay, I'm going to fast from sugar. Cool. So what sweet can I eat? All right. You can use dates. And though it's actually more, it's higher concentrations of minerals in dates than it is of most sweeteners out there, including honey and agave. Potassium is one of the highest levels of a daily value, and it's a sweetener. It's super, super high in magnesium. And these are some of the minerals that help break down in our bodies. You dig what I'm saying? And then when you eat that, there's multiple ways you can digest dates. Like, for example, I think I actually mentioned date syrup up here last week. So if you like, a plant-based pancake, all right, use date syrup as your sweetener. Use date sugar as your sweetener. You can make it into different things. You know what I'm saying? You can cut them up and put them in oatmeal. You could put them in a smoothie. If you want a smoothie that tastes sweet, all right, put some dates in there. And most people don't even tell you, but when you digest a date, that digests and formulates into an alkaline forming food, which is a balancer to your blood. Because regular artificial sugars, like you said, those artificial sugars, when they enter the body, that's really acid that digests into your body. But this one is an alkaline form of food, which is what we need because our blood is naturally alkaline. So to keep it on a healthy base level, that's just one thing you can eat that's technically counted as fasting away from the artificials and give you something that's natural source. You dig? So that's another thing that I kind of like to do when it comes to fasting. And just I like to think about it like this too. Think about when you go to the doctor. What do they tell you to do? Before you get your blood work done, they say, what? Fast for 8 hours, right? There's a reason for that. It's what we eat. It's showing in our blood. It messes up the numbers and they can't see anything to do the right necessary steps and tests in order for you to tell if you're even healthy or not. Because they have to move around all the carbs, move around all the sugars that's in your blood. Because all of that does is it's passing through our bodies. It's passing through our bodies. But they tell you to fast so they can have a clean slate. You dig what I'm saying? And so that's why I kind of look at it from a standpoint of you're going to fast from something that's going to, kind of pull it away. But if you want to substitute it, that's going to help benefit and push you into that next level. You dig? And so that's kind of how, I look at things. I like to look at things from a substitute standpoint, just like if we're doing a workout. All right. Some people that can't do bench press. Okay. Maybe the dumbbells. Let's do dumbbells. So it's not really a stopping point. It's always retracting back so we can keep going forward.
Yeah. And you said something I wanted to expound upon. Y'all know I'm a man of faith, man, and everything biblically. You just spoke about how at the end of those fasts is usually, it usually blows your mind on the results. And everything biblically, if we go back to all of those fasts and see the rewards that God gave after, post fasting, it's always been great. So that's another reason why I was super excited, man, just to kind of do my 3-day fast. And like I said, man, I want to the next go round. I just want to incorporate a lot more juices. I want to do more juicing and I seen a nice one I wanted to share. I had a juice on my fast. It consisted of carrots, turmeric, I think, and lemon. Which is really good for inflammation. So everybody, a lot of people at my church, I know that's one that we share a lot. We talk about the turmeric a lot. I actually just had one of the sisters on Sunday just kind of tell me how, hey, that turmeric you told me about on Sunday, my doctor mentioned it too. I said, okay, yeah, so it's just really good with inflammation, especially when I see arthritis and I hear about just different things like that. So for me, a juice fast. And when I do that, all right now, I'm just kind of preparing and just learning a little bit more on just a few different juice recipes. But I just wanted to mention that if that's something you're interested in, what we may do, especially for our risers, we may post something, and I'll keep you posted when I go on that juice fast. Give me about a week, and I'll have a few more. Like I said, that one was pretty cool to help with inflammation. It's carrots, lemon, turmeric, and I believe a little ginger. So but yeah, so man, you fasting it's always something super great that comes after fasting. And like I said, for me, man, my mindset, just understanding that, hey, well, I don't need these drinks. I've had a lot of energy. I had great workouts these past 3 days. So it was just really just a choice, and it just was confirmation to me, that I can live healthier, I can be healthier, and I don't need that.
For sure. Yeah, I love that, man. Hey, and it's kind of like you said, different type of fast, like a juice fast, because there's benefits. You dig? So, you're fasting, but you're substituting something. Juice. the different type of vegetables, the different type of supplements. You dig? And those are things that's kind of supplementing in my point when it comes to if you're gonna fast from something, what are you gonna replace it with? Okay, you're fasting from these foods, but you're replacing them with something that's benefiting you, hence your carrots, your figs, everything that comes with that. Everything, like your turmeric, ginger, everything. Those are benefiting you. So you're substituting what you used to eat and substituting it for something that's going to aid you and push you. And like you said, inflammation. You fast from the things that's actually causing inflammation and replacing them with something that does an anti-inflammatory. You dig? So those are called antioxidants. These are things that are going to help us and boost our immune system up so we can have healthy joints. You dig what I'm saying? And even speaking of joints, that's one thing that I want to make sure we talk about, which is calcium. I think a lot of us, we don't think about how important calcium is. You dig? And calcium, when we eat certain foods, like the artificial sugars that's in cakes, donuts, pies, these things, they kind of eat away at our bone system, but it also makes us more acidic. And what has to happen is the calcium in our bones have to release to attack the acidic so we can get our levels back to a base alkalinity. And that over time, when your bone marrow has to keep releasing, that causes holes into the bones, and that causes a disease called osteoporosis. And so most people don't even realize a lot of times if you eat dairy, when you digest dairy, that even though it's high in calcium, it's digested as acidic. So even then, you're still pouring out that bone marrow because the body sees it as acidic and it attacks it. So it almost depletes. So over time, you're still causing your bones to be weak. You dig? And so one thing that you can do for that, like I said, you can eat mostly plants like vegetables, spinach. You dig? These are high alkalinity plants that you can do that actually increase your calcium to where your bone marrow doesn't decrease. It helps you. Same thing with sea moss. Sea moss is super high, nice in calcium, high in alkalinity. These things help replenish and help fill the bone marrow. So that way, number one, the bone doesn't have to take out to replace the calcium. It's a natural source of calcium that stays in the body so the body doesn't attack it. And we don't see this. We don't even feel it, until it's too late or something happens. You dig what I'm saying? So these are some of the things that can help save us when it comes to certain things we're fasting from. You know what I'm saying? So fasting is honestly a good way to save your life. You dig what I'm saying? Because we know what happens when you keep eating, a lot of greasy foods, things like that can cause your arteries to clog up. You dig what I'm saying? But if we fast from a lot of that stuff, we can replace it, like you said, with a juice cleanse. So where you're getting the right anti-inflammatory, just so we can cleanse ourselves so we're not clogged up. We're not going to the doctor limping. You know what I'm saying? We young, but we still got these, bumps on our faces. It's a bunch of acid in our bodies, right? And so, like I said, fasting helps cleanse the body of everything. Everything.
And do you make sure you do your due diligence too? You mentioned one I wanted to go in on too. I wanted to mention that sea moss. So I've heard of, with the sea moss providing so much of the nutrients and minerals that the body needs. I've heard of a lot of people just kind of making sure they get that sea moss in, and just kind of making sure that if you want to take away a lot, that's a good substitute to go off of, what you've been kind of mentioning, substitute. But I also say just kind of doing your due diligence. There's those people that may be hesitant, just kind of wondering if you're going to be deficient in something that you may need. Those cases, I definitely say consult your physician and make sure that you're taking away something you can avoid. You can afford to take away, especially when you're doing those fasting from everything and substituting only with very small substitutes. I definitely want you to stay healthy and make sure that you're in a condition to where you can fast like that.
Absolutely.
So there definitely levels to it. And we mentioned the different sorts of fasting, the different types of fasting. So just make sure and do your due diligence, do a little research.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was watching this, looking at this article, and it talked about what fasting does. Now this is just basic fasting, like no eat, no nothing but water. And it talked about how sharp our minds go whenever we fast. And it made me think about like Thanksgiving. Everybody stuffs themselves on Thanksgiving. You dig? We all get tired, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to sleep. They get something called the itis. You dig? And so that's kind of what I was looking at too when it comes to fasting. Like there are a lot of great benefits when it comes to it. Even the Spartans. Most people don't know the Spartans only really ate 4 hours a day. They fasted for the most part. And if they ate, it was mostly before battle or during the victory. But even then, after victory, you still got to walk and still got to hunt your food, get back home and eat. So you dig what I'm saying? Like back in the day, they fast more often than none. We live in an age where everything is quick, everything is accessible. We can touch it. You can go 2 minutes down the street and get you some food nowadays, and it's cheap. You dig? It's so easy to eat, but we don't think about the health that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you have to do your due diligence. You have to do your research. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't even know what they're allergic to until they eat something wrong. So we really have to kind of look at ourselves, know ourselves, consult with the doctors, get the right tests, get your blood work done, and see what you can eat, what you can eat, and if you want to find substitutes, there's always substitutes for everything, right? And so me personally, I like to keep it whole food. I see that a lot of times with everybody, especially in the fitness industry or someone who's trying to lose weight or gain weight or whatever, they get they get better nutrients a lot of times from a mostly whole food diet. As long as you're doing mostly whole foods and not too much of the process, you know what I'm saying? Not too much of that aids into the body, I think a good fast from that will be a good start too, so you can stay healthy for the most part. You dig?
Facts. Yeah. So I just was going to add in, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, all this fasting knowledge, we want to make sure we covering everything. Um, yeah, I think we got it. We definitely got it.
But
Man,
I wanted to mention too, like, dog. I remember we were talking about like the Muslim community. So I don't know if you know. Well, I don't know. He don't go to the Y no more, so you might not know him. But he was talking about how in that religion they do fast. They fast like I think for a whole day, like 24 hours. It's something like that. Somebody can probably comment down there. Just give me the exact number. I don't want to, bombard it. But I think it's more so in their culture that they do fast at least once. You dig? And then I think the only thing they can do is drink water. I think that might be it, just water. And they talk about a lot of the benefits that happen when it comes to fasting. So my point is, I guess, to say if we see this over and over, we see this in past history. In past history, there's a reason for people fasting. They don't do it for any reason. There's a reason for it. And so if you think about it from that perspective, it's got to be some type of benefit from it that you can really heal from. And then there's a lot of research that goes behind fasting, hence sharp minds. Matter of fact, you know how every time you go play sports, they say, yo, he got that hunger in him. He hungry. That means somebody ain't gonna give up. That means they're gonna constantly, that means they're alert. You know what I'm saying? When we go play ball and you see somebody on the court, they hustling, what we say? Like, that boy hungry, he going to get it, right? Because when you hungry, you going to get it. You know what I'm saying? When you hadn't eat all day and you starving, you like, yo, ain't nothing gonna stop me from getting this, right? It's you get energy. It's a mentality thing. It sharpens your mind. It gets you crystal clear so you can go and attack it. You know what I'm saying? Think about like how the Lions do. Lions, sometimes they go 3-4 days without eating. But when they see that, they little gazelle just limping and hopping, they're like, oh yeah, that's lunch meat, baby. That's lunch meat. They going to get that thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I look at it from a standpoint of like, yo, it's a good way to kind of cleanse yourself and start over. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're sick. Hey, when you're sick, you got to fast. You got to cleanse yourself out. And a lot of that has to do with fasting and repurposing yourself with, like you said, ginger, elderberry, sea moss. These supplements help and they aid you and push you into your nutrients, into a healthy life, honestly. And so, like I said, it's about understanding what you're fasting from, And I think once you understand what you're fasting from to get to a specific goal, I think that's going to help you benefit you more than often.
Yeah. And I got that thought, man. I'll leave you with this. I'll close with this. Just don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed about what you're doing. I'm gonna say my saying again. Nothing personal, but it's personal. Like I said, my fast was just with bangs. You might probably laughing at me now, like, yo, I kick bangs back every day. Yeah, you probably do. But just for me personally, that was just one I wanted to try to fast. And then in turn with that, I just wanted to incorporate some other things. I wanted to just be strictly adherent to my whole foods plant-based. I figured it was 3 days. I wanted to challenge my discipline. I wanted to make sure I can do it. So I want to share with those that may see this. If your fast, whatever your fast is your fast. If your neighbors laugh, your homies laugh, just stick to it. Stick to it. Start small if you have to. Do a week, no cheese, no bread, no milk. A week, no dairy. Whatever it is that your weakness is that in your heart can help you be a healthier you, stick to it and start small. I say, man, try it 3 days. 3 days. 3 days, no milk. 3 days, no bread. Whatever your week, 3 days, no Skittles. 3 days, no candy. Whatever your fast is, it's okay. Did you get that definition of a fast, Kobe? The technical, I like to give them at least a technical. While I'm finishing this, and we're gonna give you that real definition because I know it's not, don't get too caught up in the distractions of what the world is gonna say. Anything that can better you, I highly recommend you do it. You commit to it. 1 day fast, 2 day fast, start small. What I see is just the same thing with my clients, and when we set these big goals, it becomes a deterrent because we bite off more than we can chew initially. So if you say, okay, well, shoot, I hear the man. I got a weakness with Skittles. I'm no Skittles. It's as simple as that. No Skittles. Start there. From there, you'll see that, okay, well, shoot, I didn't have Skittles. Maybe I could take away the Starburst too. All right, so next 3 days, I'm going to go no Skittles, no Starburst. And then you may blow your mind and get those same benefits that we spoke about after everybody we've seen historically fast. Generally speaking, they always yield you some great benefits, a great reward at the end. So I'll leave you with that. Make sure you do your due diligence and fast for you. Fast for you. You know what your weakness is better than I do. You know what you need help on better than I do. Your doctor's telling you. Just be honest with yourself. I know everybody on social media probably going to do this and going to eat that and they going hard on Thanksgiving. But if you got a health issue that you want to address and you want to be here, man, you'll be surprised how many people I speak to, that are in that have illnesses, and I ask them, hey, do you want to live? I'm going to help you as much as I can help you, but do you want to live? So just make sure that you define that goal. The person next to you, their goal may be different, but if in your heart, man, I want to be here, but I really struggle with bread. I want to live, but I really struggle with, hey, start small. That's my spirit.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm going to get a Bible next time you start going in, boy, because you be preaching to these boys. You dig? I'm going to have a Bible right here on my table.
Gotta give it.
So, no, that was dope, man. I actually did. And I pulled up the definition of fasting, man. And I think we pretty much covered it because it's not just, fasting means it's abstinence. You dig? And this goes across the board. This is abstinence from food, drink, health reasons, ritual reasons, religious reasons. You can even fast from, unethical purposes. You dig what I'm saying? Some people just want to fast from a drug. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Like, and excuse me, this could be at any level. You can do a complete fast, which is like cut, you're done. You're not doing it no more, right? And some people need that. And some people have went through a certain life to where it's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I've seen so many people that was drinking and drinking, and to the point where something happened to where, you know what, they don't even pick a bottle up anymore. Won't even touch it. That's a complete fast. They don't need it anymore. You dig? And same thing, like you can do a partial fast, intermittent fasting. I don't think we touched that, but you can intermittent fast, which actually that's kind of what I was talking about with the Spartans. They pretty much fast most of the day, but only like a few hours. That's a form of intermittent fasting. So there's different levels to fasting, the benefits of these fasts, and I think that we can take it to a step further when it comes to fast from doing maybe just messing up. Some of us just weren't raised in the right way. You did. Maybe they're just used to doing bad things, right? So something might have happened where they got in trouble for something to the point where, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just fast from this. Like I'm gonna put it to you like this: like consequence. When you was a kid, you did something bad, you got that whooping. You're like, nah, I ain't doing this no more.
You hear me?
I ain't going to the kitchen no more, dog. Or like, the famous ones don't touch the stove. And every kid gonna try to touch that stove, burn the mess out of them. Like, you know what? I ain't touching this. We ain't doing this no more at all. You dig? So, I don't want to say fast is just food, but there are a lot of ways you can fast, man. You can fast from spending too much money. Stay in the house for a month. Cook. You know what I'm saying? Just try not going out. If that's going to help you get to your goals, I think that's going to be something well worth fasting. Instead of spending how much you spending when you're going out? $80 to $100?
Oh yeah.
Every night you going to the club. All right, that's $100 that's $400 a month. All right, don't go out. Stay at home. Go to sleep for a month. Save that $400. Take that, honestly, and invest in Rise and Rise Academy so we can go and get you right. You did what I'm saying.
Man, health is wealth. Health is wealth.
Baby.
Stop playing. We lose
yourself.
That's real. That's real. We invest in our leisure. We invest in everything else. I rarely see. We get better with it, but like I said, man, if you need some help, reach out, get that help. Get that help. Grinding on that health. I know we are. I know me and you are. We fasting. We staying active. We trying to live a healthy life. We applying all the principles and the topics that we mentioned here. So, tap in.
Yeah.
Here.
I think that was perfect. That was a perfect segue right there, man. Y'all tap in with the Rise and Rise Academy, man. This your boy Showtime. It's your boy Cobe Rise and Rise. You dig what I'm saying? This is going to be live on Facebook. It's going to be out here on YouTube. You can check it out. Follow us on our IGs. You know what I'm saying? Just check the bottom of the screen. It should be popping up here. So, just in case y'all don't have it, you dig? The information is right there. You dig? So make sure you follow YouTube, Rise and Rise Academy, Showtime Training Group. IG King Alajuwan 21, IG Showtime Training Group. You dig what I'm saying? We're real people. I just got off the phone yesterday with my clients. They're trying to get it in. They're like, yo, hey, we got birthdays coming up. You dig? They got holidays coming up. So, hey, that's what we're here to do. We're here to get everybody right. We're real people, man. So tap in with us. And you know what we do when we face with an obstacle? What we do?
We rise and rise, baby.
Rise and rise, baby. We out. Yes, sir.